So welcome everyone. This is one of the podcasts where we have KEM alumni from 67 batch and 68 batch who started their MBBS career in KEM. Sir, you started your MBBS career in KEM in 1967. How was your first day in KEM? Do you remember anything from that
Absolutely
KEM
remember
first?
going to the dissection hall. It's a new world that you've never been exposed to. So I totally remember. Now, having said that, I have come to KEM, to GS, to Department of Pharmacology because my father was head of the department since I was a child. So I was not new to the campus, but entering it as a medical student and starting the first rotation in anatomy with the dissection was an experience by itself.
You're from Mumbai or you're outside Mumbai?
I'm from Mumbai. I was born in Mumbai.
So for you,
I have lived all my life in Mumbai.
so for you, coming to KEM was like normal, ordinary boy who is joining after 11th or 12th. I think at your
After
time,
11, so SSC,
SSC.
no, then 2 years of college,
College.
first year and second year, and then you join medical school.
And was the teaching that time was so intense like what we have today, or it was more of a jovial kind of teaching?
I think more intense than maybe now.
More intense.
Absolutely.
So the kids nowadays, they
Absolutely.
enjoy more than what you enjoyed.
Well, not that I'm in touch with them, but the lecture started at 8 a.m. in the morning, and several lectures, and we have clinical rotation. So it was nice, but it was fun at the same time. I would like to relive that if I'm given an opportunity. So to that end, last year I was talking to Dr. Shenby, she's head of the Department of Physiology. She was saying, we need to have lecturers and all that, and I said I would like to volunteer. So I gave 2 lectures to the first MBBS students talking about renal physiology. And I totally enjoy it. I would love to make it as an annual event.
So once you finish your first year, second year, and you ended up in the clinical field, I'm very sure during that time the celebrations must be in the same way, like you had Avishkar and musical extravaganza must be having during
So
your
we
time.
used to have what we call college day or college week, and there would be all different kinds of talent that the students exhibited. So dramas, music shows, dance shows, all kind of thing. It was a lot of fun. It was every evening for I think 3-day event. So it was a great.
So how was your transition from MBBS to post-graduation? Was it difficult in KEM since it was in KEM itself? You knew all your teachers?
We knew all the teachers, so it was not difficult. Living in RMO quarters, so we all lived here, eating food by Morris. Morris was the contractor who was providing us with all the meals. It was fun. The best part of my residency, I would say, is the experience we got at KEM. To give you an example, when I was the registrar in medicine, we would handle 30-40 admissions every time you are on call. When I went to United States, I had to repeat some of it, and it was a breeze. It was a cakewalk.
Less
Because-
patients.
Yeah, 5 patients,
Huge
10 at the
experience,
most,
yeah.
10. All other residents are falling apart, and for me, it's nothing.
Now it is 60-70 admissions.
Yeah.
Right, I
But
agree.
so,
The-
lot more experience.
lot more, but see, at that time, I was the only registrar, male and female ward. There were not 2
many.
registrars. The full-time units had 2 registrars, but other honorary units had
Honorary
only
had
1.
yes.
So you're busy all night, no question about it. But you love it. My love of medicine has not waned even by an iota. And that's why, even though I retired from my private practice, I am still volunteering in charity clinics, keeping very active.
Dr. Seth then from KEM went to Houston.
We went to USA, so in New York for 2 years, both of us. And then I went to Houston where I did fellowship in nephrology. And then I practiced as a nephrologist.
So you find the clinical work back in US than in KEM is much different. This cannot be parallel.
So the experience, the clinical experience we received at KEM is second to none. However, the facilities we have in United States, the infrastructure, the ability to get things done, much easier.
Technology.
Yes, technologically.
So Dr. Sheth had a better half. He started his career in KEM and then he had married his wife in KEM Hospital. Probably KEM gave you your wife or
No.
you took it?
Before that,
Before that.
Oh.
So it was a childhood love.
she is my sweetheart. We lived across the street,
Oh.
We grew up together.
so we grew up together.
Okay.
So Dr. Rucha is again the MBBS from 1968 batch.
Yes.
You look too young, but for that.
Thank
So
you.
she has done her MBBS. Was it same story for boys and girls way back in 68?
No, we had our own little stories.
Okay.
In-
The
in
ladies'
the
common room?
in the girls' common room, and that's where we opened our dabbas and shared food, and one of the best times I had ever. And then of course I started dining with him, so with Dr. Sheth, my father-in-law, after we were formally engaged. So it was a different world, but we learned a lot. I did my MD in pathology here, and I will never regret what we did in middle of the night. We had to get up and do autopsies, and that was something very unusual.
Is it not the same in US? The middle
No,
of
no, no.
night?
Even
Shouldn't
after
tell-
that,
so
I'll
shouldn't
tell you
tell.
what
That
we
should be
did.
the big message for our politicians because they demand autopsy should be done in middle of the night.
No, we did it, but it was until there was a time when we requested that. Really, do we need to get up at 1 in the morning to do autopsy? We started the movement and we applied and we requested. So eventually, by the time I finished, they stopped doing it because they had to move so many people around. So that was a good change that I personally feel
So
comfortable.
pathology was your choice or you took it?
Well, pathology was my choice after being requested by my future father-in-law that that'll keep peace at home. I'll be very honest. That's what. But I'm very thankful.
But
At the time, I could not think,
it's a
but
very
now
small
I.
deal for a piece. I think you can't.
No, I can't argue. I'm very thankful because I could come home at a decent time. I didn't have to worry about being on call. Once I'm home, I'm home.
Absolutely agree with you. I also chose neurology because less emergencies and my
Right.
husband was in cardiology.
So
So
Right.
किसी ने बोला नहीं मैडम पहले. Nobody taught us this. Otherwise, we could have also taken these streets. Why we
No,
took also
it's practical. You have to. Somebody has to be home, right? Between the two of us, and
How about your experience in doing autopsy here versus?
well, I had done about 300 plus autopsies by the time I went to US, and also had given witness, expert as a witness. I was called in once even to an army court.
But you have a coroner system back in US. You don't have the.
No,
here,
we do.
Here.
I had to go give evidence in
Evidence.
even military court, and they could not fathom that I had done personally the autopsy. Anyway, the experience was so strong and good that when I started residency in Baylor College of Medicine, first at Montefiore in New York and then Baylor, I was teaching my co-residents because I had so much experience. I would just kind of take them on, and in US you have to be 2 steps ahead as a foreign and a female to be counted as,
equality.
to be honest, that's how things are. But because having had such a fantastic training here, I had my friend, all the other 18 residents were my friend. So they were very helpful and very friendly and very, very respectful. They realized what good our training is, how good our training is. So
So was it a trend that time that people used to get trained in MBBS, PGs here, and then they all?
No. Many of our friends left
Went to
after
US.
doing MBBS. They did not do their post-graduation. Like we were telling madam, our idea was to come back.
Yeah.
So my father-in-law suggested, do finish your MD and then go. So when you come back, you
You
don't
have
have
a
to worry
degree,
about,
yeah.
right,
Yeah.
you have a
You have an MD degree.
MD degree, not just, and we are still there. So what can I say?
But doing an MD,
It does,
helped us tremendously.
Yeah.
So I will never regret
right.
when you can say, oh, you wasted 2 years and 3 years. When you're learning, not a 1 day is a waste. Remember that. Because what we learned here, both of us, it helped us so much. to get ahead. So don't think you're doing 3 years here and you have to repeat this there and all. What you learn is what you learn. And it'll come used to you know at a time when you don't know. So give you an example. So I did, as a houseman, we did 6 months medicine and 6 months I did neurology. So Dr. Rucha was the chief. We talked about various things and some of the syndromes. So we're making nephrology round with my attending, and he asked some very esoteric neurology question. The only one could answer was me, and he was shocked. He said, "How do you know all this?" Because that's 6 months in neurology, which had nothing to do with my nephrology. But medicine is medicine. You cannot compartmentalize it to a point where you don't know about other parts.
Sir, you have a generation, like your father was here, your mother was also an employee here. So was it a restriction for you as an MBBS boy that, oh, my father is a professor here, I should behave, or you are a flamboyant?
I don't know if I'm a
your current
flamboyant, but it was not, never felt any restriction.
No restriction?
No restriction.
Mom, dad?
No restriction.
No, in fact, we felt very privileged.
Oh,
It was nice to have the guidance around.
So you used to discuss KEM again at home after finishing KEM? 4 o'clock?
A lot, actually, with his father.
Pharmacology a lot.
Yeah,
A lot of
pharmacology.
pharmacology.
And they all came home, so we knew all his seniors, our colleagues,
So
because they came home.
my dad had the department come to our home 2-3 times a year, and I knew everybody. So, give you an example, Dr. Nilima Ksirsagar. She did PhD under my dad, and
MD.
she was like a household figure for us.
Right.
She would come to our home, we meet. Even now, we have kept up the relation, and like this visit, we may not have time, but at least once a year, I will call her up and we'll go and we'll meet and have lunch together with her and her husband. So we have that relation.
So, these are the 2 alumni who did their MBBS from KEM, then PG from KEM, then went back to US, and they are associated with KEM in the form of Gosumec Alumni Association. And that association started with the effort of Dr. Sangeeta Ravat, madam. Madam, could you tell how this alumni helped you to get this association and then create this fund so that you can use that fund for betterment of KEM students?
Yeah, I think the Gosumecs who are in abroad, they always have that something we should do for our alma mater, and that's how I think Dr. Bindra, Dr. Sheth, and the whole group, Dr. Vinod Vaishya, I think Raj Bayani, and then Rohit Shani, all of them got together and they founded this Gosumec Foundation. And first thing what they did was to help give scholarships, and after that, now this is the next thing which they have done is boys common room and the toilet for the boys. So really thankful that you are doing this, and I'm sure this is the paying back to our alma mater, which all of us would always like to do it. So anything you would like to say on that, your foundation?
Right, so as Madam Dean said very rightly, that we are giving scholarships and the funds for renovation of the boys' common room. The scholarship piece continues. We have continued to support MBBS students and will continue to do that. So I would like to say we like to continue this constructive relationship forever.
Thank you.
For sure.
So I think as a true blue-blooded KEMite, Dr. Sheth has pledged today that he will support KEM Hospital and the activities of student activities and whatever is required at KEM Hospital and whatever is in his capacity. Maybe the Gosumec Alumni Association can fund it more bigger way. So thank you everyone. Thank you Rucha madam.
Thank you
Dr.
so
Sheth.
much.
Thank you Sangeeta Ravat madam. And it was a wonderful time to interact with you. I think this broadcast will open up a lot of hearts and they will pour more and more money towards KEM.
We hope so.
Thank you. We feel very welcomed here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.